Hello, Guardians, and welcome to Destiny Reset, episode 47. This podcast is about anything and everything related to Destiny the game. If you enjoy playing Destiny as much as we do, you're in the right place. This reset, a hotfix restores order to the game, Iron Banner launches mid-reset, and in our main topic, we're up for anything. Hello, Guardians, and welcome. This is Arrow Knight, and here with me is Cyborg Sasquatch and Mr. AKA Manny G. What's up, guys?
What's up, buddies?
Man.
How's it going?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Are you asking me, or are you asking Manny?
Whoever wants to answer.
How are you, Manny?
Dude, I'm doing awesome. Life's been really good. I just got my boys to sleep, so pretty happy.
Very nice.
Quiet house. Yeah.
All the kiddos are asleep for all the hosts.
Kids are asleep and wife's listening to Harry Potter. So
Oh, nice.
everything's good in the Manny house.
Very nice.
How could it not be with that smooth, sultry voice, right?
We just had to have you on after just going crazy about your voice a couple episodes ago.
Oh, man. I don't even hear that in my voice. But I do. When I put my kids to bed, I just say, all right, boys, it's time for some sleep. And they're just like, just close their eyes, they're out.
I thought you were going to say, all right, boys, it's time for some late night with me.
Oh, man.
Instantly fall asleep. Oh, man. You guys ready to get an episode of Destiny Reset kicked off here?
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. We got some announcements, of course. We have Cyborg's Geography Lesson of the Week, the part of the show where I get to start the show, and that's why this is the best part of the show. We've got I won't say, well, it's a Discord message. We'll call it an email from Maddie Misfit. Maddie came through because I needed a geography lesson, and I said, hey, man, have we done you yet? And he was like, nah, bro. So he sent me a little info about the place he lives, which is Falls Church, Virginia. So, Maddie writes, I currently live in Falls Church, VA, aka the Little City, which is located in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. The Falls Church, from which the city takes its name, was first called William Gunnell's Church and built of wood in 1733. By 1757, the building was referred to as the Falls Church, reflecting its location near the main tobacco rolling road circumventing the Little Falls of the Potomac River. During the American Civil War, the town changed hands several times during the early years of the war. Confederate General James Longstreet was headquartered at Home Hill following the First Battle of Manassas. The earliest known instance of U.S. wartime aerial reconnaissance was carried out from Taylor's Tavern at Seven Corners by Aeronaut Thaddeus S.C. Lowe of the Union Army Balloon Corps. Things to do and see. Memorial Day Parade, held since the 1950s, features a parade with bands, military units, civil associations, a street festival, and a 3K fun run. A 3K fun run. Okay. Great year-round farmers market on every Saturday. Tinner Hill Blues Festival takes place the second Saturday of June and features many local and national blues musicians and is part of the Tinner Hill Heritage Foundation, who aim to preserve the civil rights and African American history and culture. The State Theater, right down the road from my house, is a former movie theater turned music venue that hosts all kinds of performers like The English Beat, Buddy Guy, Deep Purple, X, and many others. Falls Church is home to one of the United States' best taco places, Taco Bamba, and a great beer/grilled cheese/tots place called Space Bar. I think I could get into that. And if you ever get bored with Falls Church, you can hop in the car or on the metro and travel the 10 miles to our nation's capital. And he wraps it up by saying, #Titan for life, #Bubble Bros.
Very nice.
Thank you, Maddie. I've been to Falls Church, man. I wish I'd known that you were there the many years that I visited, but it is pretty cool. You may have also visited Falls Church in Fallout 3, because that's a place that you go, I'm pretty sure.
So I like that talked about Thaddeus Lowe, the Arrow Knight. Oh, sorry.
Aeronaut.
Aeronaut. Sorry about that.
He was a.
That's how I read it,
He
too.
was a bubble bro.
Oh, Bubble Bro.
It's very nice.
He had a hot air balloon.
Yeah, Maddie's a fellow Titan. I have to, so I don't forget, I have a real quick funny story. I think maybe we played Iron Banner before together, Maddie and I, but was loading into our very first game of Trials this weekend, and we were good to go, talking about how we may have never really played together, and then my power went out. So we have still
Oh no.
not played
brutal.
at least any Trials together, possibly not any PvP period together, but the timing was excellent.
That's the best CYA story I've heard all week here tonight.
Oh man.
I know you've got an announcement for us that all the people are patiently waiting for.
Yes. So, and man, it always works out when we have Manny on the show. SubClan, guys, we've been voting for a week, Friday to Friday. So we snapped a little picture, got the totals, the tally, last Friday, and it looks like your new SubClan name for the Derp fam is Destiny Reset Saint 14. Exciting.
Yay.
Exciting. So the reason I mentioned Manny is because, we all kind of try to think of things you guys would like and ultimately let you guys choose. But Manny might have had a little something to do with Saint 14.
Dude, listen to this quote. When grappling with a great Kale, he caved in the fallen's head with one blow from his own. Dude, Saint 14.
That's it.
He's a Titan of Titans.
Dude's a
Good
boss.
stuff.
And
It's
he's
worthy.
he's also a Bubble Bro, right?
I
Yeah.
believe so. Yeah.
Yes.
There you
Very
go.
cool.
Bubble bro for life.
That's exciting, man. Though we just keep growing. The fam keeps growing, so that's always good news.
Yep.
Good stuff. Speaking of that, Cyborg, this next little SubClan.
Yeah. There was an
issue.
issue. If you guys are representing the Destiny Reset Fellwinter subclan name, we did notice pretty quickly there was a little issue with the name this week. Had some strange characters on the end displayed. That's because we got too many people, and now when we get a certain amount of people, which we don't know what that number is, I'm thinking it's plus 100. Bungie splits the subclan names between Xbox and PlayStation, and as administrators we have to delineate them differently, and we think that has to do with the clan leaderboard function. So Air Knight went in and fixed that for us. We're going to do our best to make the I guess the nomenclature of these changes make sense, but bear with us as we sort that out when it happens.
Yeah, they basically make us go from having to have one unique subclan or clan name to two unique,
Right.
and so it complicates it a little bit, but figure it out.
Yep, we'll figure it out. Hey, there was a pretty fun Rumble tourney on Xbox One. That was yesterday for us, which was Saturday. You got any results you hear about from that Aero Night?
Yes, I actually got to jump in both Fugly stream and Big Red Tricks just for a little bit. I couldn't participate, but as I'm watching it, I'm typing in their chat like, "Where's the late sign up?" Like, I want to jump in and play one real quick. It was so fun to watch the fam duke it out, man.
Nice.
We got first place winner goes to Stardust Hell, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Stardust Hell.
Yes.
Yes. And real quick, we'll just do an honorable mention. Second place went to Jon Snow 81, and third went to Chronic. So
Nice.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
talked
if
to
you get any
Fugly.
prizes for that, but
Fugly, I talked to him and he said the tournament was awesome. He said he had a ton of fun. They had some issues with matchmaking, obviously, but they were able to work through that.
very cool.
That's
very
good.
cool.
That's good. Yeah, I saw Scoria post that he got some matches in, but he got hung up by matchmaking, which I guess is just part of how it's going to go if you're doing any kind of tournament. That can happen. Did any of you guys see what the final tally was on the pot? Because I kept seeing it go up and go up. People kept
No, I
throwing in
didn't.
on that.
No. And speaking of that, Big Red, he also put in this little Discord message, thanks to everyone who participated, donated, and watched the tournament. So
Yeah.
good stuff. Hopefully we hope to have more of these any of you guys in the fam that want to promote something like this or do something like this, like Big Red,
Yeah.
go for it. I'm sure we can round up some of the fam and get some donations.
Yep.
But hopefully we may have a tournament in the works before too long.
No doubt. Some of the fam
hopefully.
are spearheading that.
Yes.
We'll tell you more as that happens. But Big Red did a great job. He put up a really funny video on Friday. He did a good job one. So props to Big Red. Thanks for putting that together and giving the Derp fam something fun to do Saturday. And we just love that you're part of the fam, man.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks, dude.
I wanted to give a shout out too, and Aaron and I can vouch for me here. I really should have put this in the announcements last week, and I texted Arrow after we finished the show last week, and I was like, "Oh man, I completely forgot
wanted that
to
in the
say
show,
this.
dude.
What a bonehead!" But I got to give a shout out to Unique. He came through last Friday. I got a message through the grapevine from a friend, and they were supposed to help with the Operation Supply Drop stream, and they couldn't make it, and we're reaching out to the Derp fam, said, hey, we need somebody to come in and take this spot, because they were raising money for Operation Supply Drop. If you guys know the Legend Blue, who is involved with that organization, he was putting together that streaming weekend. So we got in touch with the Legend Blue, and we reached out to the Derp fam, and we were able to pull Unique to come and stream for that 2-hour slot. And he took time and canceled plans and made a point to get in there and do that. And so I just got to give a shout out to him for being such an excellent representative of the Derp fam and putting his time towards a great cause. So
Yeah,
I'm glad
very
you're
cool,
able to
dude.
step in there and do that. There was a bunch of
Yeah.
other Guardians that tried to make some time, just couldn't get it done. But
yeah,
Awesome
and I know
job.
some people showed up too, and I have to give them props too for coming in and helping him and joining in and playing. But he definitely stepped up. So
Yeah, from what we understand, a lot of you Derp fam showed up in support. So
yeah.
excellent, great stuff.
So, anyways, great job, man. Thank you for representing the Derp fam so well.
well done.
Yeah, Arrow, tell the fam where else they can find us this week.
Isn't that sounds weird?
I
Where
know.
else you can find us? So our buddies over at Crucible Radio, who kind of started their podcast around the same time we did, and each of them have been on the show. They invited us over to their neck of the woods, over on
Yep.
their side, and it's live. Not right now when we're recording, but when you're listening to this, their show actually went up yesterday,
Yep.
Monday.
Yep. So we're there on for their episode 50. We talk about the show, we talk about the clan, and then we talk a little bit, of course, about the Crucible with those guys. And we had a good time. We mostly were just cutting up, to be honest
Always
with
a
you.
good
But
time.
go check it out. Go check it out. It's, if you're not tired of us by the end of this show and you want to hear some more of my nonsense, go check out Crucible Radio this week and give those guys a listen.
Hopefully you'll be hearing one of those guys again soon. We try to give them a PvE outlet over here on this side.
Yeah.
But it's been a little while. We told them they got to jump back over.
No
Invite's
doubt.
always there.
No doubt. So, I guess I'll take it. Manny, how was your reset? Air horns.
The reset was a lot of fun. As we know, Iron Banner came out a little late. But
Yeah,
man, we've been
snuck
playing
up
some
on
Iron
us.
Banner. I don't think that I've lost a game yet playing with the Derp fam. It has been
Nice.
A lot of
Dude,
fun.
that's awesome.
and I've been sticking with my Titan for the most part. And dude, I got about a week before Zur came to town, I got Universal Remote, and man, I love that weapon. It is
Do you?
It is
with you,
ridiculous, dude. It is so ridiculous, especially on a Titan who can skate. And with Twilight Garrison, it is, man, racking up the kills. And it makes me play so reckless because I just want to get in a group and just kill everybody.
Do you normally run a shotgun?
Yes,
Usually?
I normally do. I normally run a shotgun with Call of Ance's Duty. But dude,
That's right. You love that gun. Yeah.
I've literally not even used a secondary with it's like I'm like, oh, I'll try a sidearm with this Reuniversal, and that's a great combo. Or I'll try a fusion, and I never switch to it. So
Nice.
it's been a ton of fun. But
I used it for a little bit on Xbox with Cyborg before I got that crazy RNG for No Land. But
Yeah.
do you guys think it's inconsistent at all, or is it just it's always spot on for you? Like,
You
do
know
you ever
what?
have?
It's just slow.
Okay.
Is what I've figured out. Like I'm used to more high rate of fire shotguns, and so sometimes you pull the trigger and the gun's not ready.
So it's probably because I'm coming from Party Crasher.
Yeah,
goofing around with
probably.
it.
yeah,
So,
it's
I mean, what
definitely
do you
different.
think?
Like
Yeah.
I'm a very vertical player, so I'm usually shotgunning the top of somebody's head, or I'm
Yeah,
sliding into them, shooting them in the neck, and that's just
It's
kind of
a-
how I play it. And
Manny's true Vanguard. He just hasn't told us.
no doubt.
no, dude, I don't have the KD to support that.
He's in that vertical space.
I'm definitely too aggressive, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Too many red bars though, man. It is just getting robbed of so many sweet kills. But I don't know. That's the same story with every Iron Banner, isn't it? The
Yeah,
red bar
except
story.
now were they actually red bar or was it the new green bar?
Well,
red bar?
a little bit of both. And then I was one night I had some internet issues of my own, and I don't know. It's just tough, and I don't want to complain, but you know, I have also a part of my my reset. I've also been playing a lot of Overwatch that just came out, and
Very
it's like,
nice.
man, I play Overwatch and it's just smooth as butter, and then log over to Destiny and it's just Red Bar City. So it's like, man, this is going to tie into the main topic later, but I really hope to see some improvements in Crucible just to make it a great experience for everybody. But that's no, go ahead.
Well, not to get off Destiny topic too much, but what is the server environment for Overwatch? Do you know?
There are
Is it dedicated
dedicated servers.
Yeah.
Yes, and they also have a lot of information out there about their net code and how they do it. And basically, if you have a gun and you get your sights on somebody and you shoot them, you fire your weapon, that person takes damage. It is just written that way every time. So it feels fantastic. And then there's a kill cam. So if you get killed, then you get to see exactly how you were killed, and you don't feel like you were robbed. You see them shooting your face off, and you're just thinking about your next move. So they've got a lot of stuff up there, and I really hope that Destiny 2 learns a bit from it and implements some of these sweet technical wizardry that Blizzard's figured out.
Well, they Blizzard's definitely probably one of the best as far as how to handle online gaming.
Yeah.
There's some greats out there, but Blizzard has been through the ringer enough times. I think they know how to launch a game.
Yeah,
no
definitely.
question.
They've had a lot of ups and downs with their launches. I've played just about every launch that they've ever had, and I'm a bit of a Blizzard fanboy. Just to finish out my week in Destiny, it started off with a couple nights of World of Warcraft. So
Yeah, you've been talking about that in Discord, man. Who is that you're normally talking to? Is that Necessary Evil?
yeah, he's a Warcraft player as well. But I mean,
right.
That's just Destiny right now. We just had a pretty sweet patch, and you're running out of things to do. So you got to fill. If you're going to game during the week, you got to fill your week with different games. But I mean, that's why I love the Derp Fam so much, because it's like I can take my friends with me to these other games, or at least stay with them and chat. Like I use the Xbox app while I'm playing Warcraft and still chat with my buddies. So
Nice.
it's Derp Fam's awesome. I love everybody, but that was my week.
No doubt.
In Destiny.
It is nice, man, when those new games come out and we're throwing up the channels like you were promoting that Overwatch channel, and it's like you bring your family with you, man, just like you said. You've already got a crew. That's the best part.
And dude, that channel has been super active. Like there's a lot of discussion going on there. So it's
Well, if
pretty
it wasn't
sweet.
for you, I may not have bought Overwatch, but I've played about 5 games, and It's fun, man. I got to put in some more time, but it's gonna be. I'm dead serious, guys. It's just my nice little fun game to play on the side, of course, next to Destiny.
Well, I'll allow it since you've put Division on the shelf.
Yes, Division's on the shelf right now. That's what Division was supposed to be. And for right now, I have a season pass to the Division, and it's not filling that role.
Yeah.
So,
me too.
Hopefully it comes back.
Yeah.
But anyways, what about PvE, Manny? Did you do any PvE side of things? Challenge of Elders or anything? Just nothing but Iron Banner for you?
That's all I've had time for this week. Iron Banner. Just, It's been super busy. Summer's coming, and for my occupation, I deliver mail. I'm a letter carrier, so I help make the world go round, and it's starting to get hot outside and humid in my city. So, dude, after work, I'm just exhausted. So I come home,
sure,
I've worked all day, and I'm like, man, I need a break. But my wife's like, I need a break. Here's the baby. So take care of the baby. And so I'm like extra tired. So I've been...
It's understandable, man.
I've been slipping in as much gaming as I can, but I just couldn't fit in any PvE this week.
Well, that's what we have. That's what we have Cyborg for. Hopefully, he didn't get too distracted with Iron Banner.
Well, I stick with it every reset. I get some of my PvE stuff in and get it out of the way, and that's it's kind of how I set my week up in Destiny. Is I load up, front heavy with PvE, and I get some of the big stuff out of the way I like. Mm-hmm. So that way, when I get to the latter half of the week and the weekend, I can just play PvP, which is when everybody's playing it. Trials or Iron Banner or whatever we're doing. So it works out good. I did some PoE, started it out and had a little more fun than last week. Last week was fairly punishing. I was complaining about it, but we had Grenade Kill and Airborne this week, which is a fun combo.
That is a good combo.
Yeah. So we ran in there. I think me and Darth and who did I play with? Oh my buddy Tank is logging in again here and there. Yeah, we're getting them slowly back into Destiny. So we did the 42 and had a pretty good time. We got it done. The whole card, the 90K cumulative, we got it done in 2 runs, which was nice. And overall just had fun. I like just jumping in there and getting it done and just slaying some AI enemies. It kind of gives you a chance to play the game and relax a little bit. It can be difficult, but you don't have to think so highly strategic like you do in PvP, but you can still utilize the mechanics and the great gunplay and have a good time, so it's fun for me to start out my week that way without having to be like, okay, game face,
right,
we're going into trials, bro. It's a fun way to do that. So, yeah, PoE is pretty cool. I've surely got some comments about the high scores in TWAB, but we'll get to that later. I just don't know about that. But no big tips this week because I think we've been through this modifier plenty of times. I think everybody knows what to do at this point. Throw the grenade, kill the guys, get the assists. It's that simple, guys.
Throw the grenades.
Throw the grenades. Just throw them, man. Don't throw a trip mine on an enemy's face or a fixed thing and kill yourself like Tank likes to. I wouldn't recommend trip mines for this activity. There's plenty of other great grenades you can use. Don't kill yourself with your grenades.
Those lightning grenades.
Yeah.
I would recommend Nothing Manacles. Those are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
That's what me and Darth Digits were using. There's Nothing Manacles. Just keep them coming, man. As long as you can keep your momentum up, where you just keep killing an enemy, at least one enemy every time you throw one, then you'll never really run out. But if you screw up with the way that you're managing your melee, your super, and your grenade, you can end up all of a sudden with no energy, and you're like, oh man, you're just useless for a full minute, and that's no fun. But you just got to be smart. So yeah, did either of you guys play the Nightfall this week?
No, sir.
All right, we had a return to the Blighted Chalice, if you remember that is a strike, which I forgot completely about. Does that say something about the strike that I forgot it even existed that quickly? I was like, oh yeah, wait, what? Oh, okay, yeah, that new strike. And I had to think about what happens in that strike. It's not that memorable.
You got to be getting close to, you and your fire team have got to be getting close to the only few Guardians running the Nightfall at this point.
We might be. And we almost didn't this week. We didn't run it on reset. And I think Friday I got on a little bit early and we were just chilling and I was like, do I want to do the Nightfall, I guess?
It was always just something nice and casual to jump into, kind of like you were explaining Prison of Elders. I mean, remember back in the day, that's the first thing we did, man. Changed all 3 characters and ran 3 Nightfalls.
Nightfall, bro. That was it.
But you know what was exciting about it is that after you were done, you got an exotic or something awesome you can use.
At least one exotic.
Or even strange coins.
What did you get, Cyborg?
Great.
Usually takes him a second to remember.
See, this is why nobody's running Nightfalls.
Nothing great. Yeah. I don't think I got an exotic.
The light level on the rewards still aren't even really dropping very smart lootish, are they? It's not like
they're improved. They're improved as long as your light level's right.
I mean, will they give you a 5 light level increase like a lot of other activities will, or do you know? I know they improved it a bit on the last update.
You know, the curve on the rewards as you get higher up in light. If you're like 330, you're not going to be getting 335 stuff.
Right.
It lowers, like it starts increasing by maybe a couple points.
Oh, I'm feeling it right now.
The max. So
yeah.
as that curve goes up, it softens and gets even narrower as you get to the top of the light level curve, similar to like how the damage curve might work.
Right.
In PvP light level enabled activities. So I'm trying to think really hard because I think I did actually get something useful. Just can't remember what it was, but it wasn't anything spectacular. But I know that one of my buddies did get like a helmet and some like an emote pack and like a horn kit and
I guess
but it wasn't just that. It was like and something, which is fine. That's cool.
I guess we have to, take into consideration at this point we have everything. So we're really
lots of things.
It's all about the rolls, maybe even more so than the light level.
Dude, I would just love like a shader that I don't have to be a possible reward, because that would be more valuable to me than anything else that they could give me.
Yeah, very true.
Which is kind of funny at this point.
Well,
what else, guys?
For me, it was, I remember we were going to try and run a little Challenge of Elders this week, but as soon as Iron Banner dropped, that just, Iron Banner does it, man.
On that, yeah.
Yep, Iron Banner does it. So I jumped in a couple different days on PlayStation and got the daily bounties done. Dude, you rank up so fast in Iron Banner. I know we started on Wednesday, but by Thursday, I just played a few games, turned in the daily bounties, and I think I'm like 2.5 or 2 3/4 or something. So it's like you don't, by the second to last day or last day, you just turn in your weekly bounties and boom.
Yep.
Yeah. So what did you think of Iron Banner? I mean, overall this month, how was your experience? I mean, I've still got a little time to put in. What I've done so far, I mean, it always it's an adjustment period for me because I feel like it's mayhem just because we play 3 so much. But once I adjust to that, it's fun. Like Manny said, there's lag. There's always been lag. The only difference now is sometimes you can't identify by their bar. But it goes in this order for me. I really like Clash for Iron Banner, and then Control, and then Rift. So, I mean, Control, we've played it so much. I like it. I'm used to it. It's fun to control the points. I really, at this point, I think I prefer Clash. I know a lot of people don't, but I really, in that game mode, when you're running with the fam, that changes a lot, but I like it to be based on kills. I don't like, if a team's camping like crazy when you run into that, but you don't always run into that. So it's cool that the game is decided by who kills the most Guardians on the opposing team. I just like that. Stop. Just let it go, man. Stop messing with my Iron Banner control. I had a lot of fun just playing classic Iron Banner this week.
Well, what is it? Was it? It wasn't Control last time, right? Was it Clash?
Yeah. It was Control last week.
It was
it was
Control,
Clash.
yeah.
It was Clash the time before that. That's
Yeah,
right.
it was like 2 things before that. And it was kind of funny when it dropped. I was looking at Twitter and I follow Gathalion, and he'll usually announce stuff if it pops up that maybe Bungie hadn't yet. And he was like, Iron Banner's live, it's Rift. And I go, oh my God. And I put it in the Discord, and then like over the course of a few minutes, like we all realized, like Gathalion realized too, that somebody in his chat was trolling him.
Oh,
And it was
man.
really Control. And but it was a confusing like 5 to 10 minutes for everyone involved, because that would have been like, I think it would have upset way more people than it would have overjoyed, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, Joe was trying to get clarification in Discord, and I saw that he had typed Rift with a question mark, and I was like, no, not again. I don't want that. Yeah.
The one sentence I put in there just sowed so much discord of what was going on.
I think for Bungie to keep most of the community happy, it needs to be on a rotation of like 3 Controls and then maybe a Clash or Rift, and then another 3.
Something that was really interesting was when that was going on and everybody was trying to figure out what it was. At some point, someone said that it was both Control and Rift.
Oh, okay.
And that kind of made me think, man, wouldn't it be cool if we just got a mix playlist one week, like Control,
cool.
Clash, and Rift, where you just, every game it could be different. That would be really fun, right?
It could be fun.
that.
I wonder if it would. I mean, we've talked about before being able to choose what Iron Banner you want to play. Maybe one time it comes up of those 3 things. You might definitely get some salt when people have a nice, smooth run going, and then Rift comes up and they get destroyed.
I would imagine that the downside of that is if a game type comes up that somebody doesn't want, that you have a lot of people leaving.
Backing out, yeah.
Yeah.
That's very
because
true.
they're going into it hoping for something, and then they don't get it, so they back out. Whereas if it was just Rift, nobody's going to leave because Rift comes up, they know it's going to be Rift. So they're going to stick around. But I think that would be maybe part of the downside just because of Rift, because that was kind of the controversial one. But maybe if it was a mix of just Clash and Control, I think people could live with that.
Yeah.
I think the downside of that, though, would be like less experienced players that maybe wouldn't pay attention to what match type comes up, and they're like running around looking for points, and they're like, why can't I find anything to cap? This game is broken. F you, bug going out.
Where are they at? See, for me, like, just on a quick side note, sitting here talking about this, I played Battlefield a lot, and I loved Conquest in that game. I loved the big maps. I loved going to control the points and finding a good vantage point. And I think maybe that's part of it with Destiny. The maps are they're so tight-knit. They're well-made, but they're just small. And, it takes you 3 seconds to run to B and slam everyone that's standing on it,
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know what it is. I like Control, I don't know why I prefer Clash. But
You're just different.
wait, we fit in a little Iron Banner, didn't we? Or am I making that up? We played late one night, a few games, didn't we?
Yeah. You came over. We did something, didn't we?
We did. Yeah,
Am I
we did. I
losing
was
it
thinking
here?
for a second
Is
that
that
was the
this
NLB, but that was this week. Yeah, we played some Iron
Yeah,
Banner.
we did.
I played with you too, Cyborg. I just remember.
Yeah, I remember I played with you, for a little bit. And as soon as you left, we started losing. No, I'm just kidding. We I'm just kidding. No, but oh my God, I have to bring this up. Manny, man, it just clicked after you were talking about Universal Remote and all this. Manny was unstoppable.
No wonder he likes it so
It
much.
was crazy. I was like raving like Shaq. So I was like, who can stop this man? No one. He was a beast, man. He was scary in Iron Banner this week. I hope you got some clips, bro. From
I have to
Iron
ask,
Banner.
Manny, did you, I don't know if you mentioned this when you were talking about it. Had you never gotten Universal Remote, never tried it?
Dude, it was my first time getting it. I didn't get it in year one. And
very cool. So you get a new, fresh weapon that you're loving. That's awesome.
Brand new. Super
very
fun.
Cool.
Highly recommend it.
So I ran, I have to bring this up. I ran only 2 setups in PvP this week. No Land Beyond in the vacancy.
Oh, no land.
No, I'm just kidding. I just did that just to bait you. Universal Remote in the vacancy.
Very nice. You're vooping.
Yeah, I was vooping. And then I ran Hawksaw in Plan C. I can't figure out which one I had more fun with. Because Universal Remote, like Manny is saying, is in 6s is so much fun, man. And then the vacancy, which is a great, mid-range fusion rifle. And then my Hawksaw, I just love. I think it's probably my favorite PvP primary right now as far as legendaries are concerned. Which is just the vendor roll. Anybody can go pick it up. I would advise it. But then beast. Plan C, dude. Plan C is scary good right now. Like, I cannot tell you how ridiculous some of the kills are. Manny, was that you? We were on Frontier, and that Blade Dancer was coming?
Yes.
And I shot him out of the air when he was about to knife you.
Dude, I couldn't get a beat on him, so I'm jumping all over the place, and he can't get me. And then, I see you on the rock, and then voop.
Dude, so we're on the left of the bridge. This guy plops Blade Dancer. Manny's like just jumping around, just jumping up and down, trying to get away. And the Blade Dancer just whoop, 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 like going all over the place. And I'm trying to hit him with my primary and wear him down. Just get a shot every now and then. Finally, he gets a beat on Manny. Manny's in the air, like at the top of his jump, and the Blade Dancer's like 1 slash away. And I pop out Plan C. I'm like, I gotta get him. And he goes, Phew. And I'm standing from where, like, right outside where special is, like, but you jump on a rock right there. So I'm like pretty far away, and he evaporated directly in front of Manny. Like, I saved his life.
That's awesome.
It was so great. I got the clip. I'm gonna put it up sometime, but. The kills you can get with that gun, you have a lot of range.
Yep. I've toyed with it just a little bit, man. Just enough to know what you're talking about. You'll get a kill sometimes at a certain distance, and you're like, "What?"
It's stupid, man, because of the stability that they added to that gun, and then with the range it already has, it's so great. So, I got a lot of multi kills with it this week. Just all kinds of ridiculous stuff, man. And I was focusing on all these fusions this week because Swain Stash had challenged me on Twitter, said you got to get 100, more Voop kills this week because you're such a noob and you've never used your Praetorian foil. So I answered the call, and I got definitely more than 100 this week, just running with lots of fusions. And I think I might be in love with Plan C.
Very cool, man.
That's awesome. I think I'm gonna run, because we're supposed to do trials tonight.
Yes,
if that still works out. I think I'm gonna run Hawksaw Plan C on Exodus Blue.
You'll have to teach me the ways of the fusion, man. That's the guns that the weapon type I've used the least at this point, other than sidearms.
I think Exodus Blue is a good map for fusion rifles.
It definitely is, yeah. But it was funny. I never really give fusions much of a chance because there's so many other viable play styles, shotguns or snipers that
that's like sidearms, man.
I fit more
like I always want to
into.
try sidearm. You never get them out,
And so I think the fact that I knew I had to get these 100 kills, to own up and like not fail, like I just went into it knowing that I was going to run fusions all week. And I instantly became more comfortable because I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to use. I'm not going to get mad if I don't do great and then switch to my sniper. Like, this is just what I'm going to use. And that mindset instantly changed how I felt about the weapon and how I was playing, because I was like, all right, I'm committing to fusions. Like, I have to play like a Fusion player does. And I think I got better. I don't know.
That's cool, dude.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
That works.
Dude, you
so
know what?
maybe something people want to try.
Dude, Plan C is so good, but I have not seen it in probably like over a month. I've not been killed by it. I've seen a few fusion rifles here and there, but dude, you're totally right. If you take the time to figure out how a fusion rifle works, and then you're patient and put in the time, then
And set a goal.
Yes.
Set a goal.
Then you're gonna unleash a beast in the Crucible, and it's gonna be a lot
true.
of fun.
Well, that's exactly what you said, man. I mean, after I jumped out of PvE after about 6 months after the game came out, the first thing I picked to use, just not knowing anything, was fusion rifles, and I loved them. And I've mentioned I loved time-charged weapons like that, but it's exactly what you said. Like those and sidearms, it's when are they a good a good option over something else. But I don't know.
Yep.
It sounds like we might have to get that Plan C out a
Voop,
little
voop.
more. Very cool. I had to. We did kind of slightly mention Exodus Blue. Have you guys fit in any trials this week? I did manage to fit in some Friday night up to this point.
I have
Did you guys
not
play?
yet. I have not
We're gonna
yet.
do it tonight. I did confirm with Tattoo we are gonna run some trials after we record tonight. So
Beautiful.
we ran Friday night, probably 4 passages. And man, Exodus is one of those maps. The teams that get us are, and we know it, and we try to work on it, are the super chaotic, aggressive teams that don't even feel like they're playing any sort of strategy other than spawn and run and kill your enemy. And it's like they just come from everywhere. There's just blips on our map, three different angles coming at us. And I mean, we've gotten better. We made it on the first passage, a couple of them, 7 wins. We'd go right to 7 wins, and then we'd run into that team. And it's like we've decided if you don't identify that within probably 1 round, you get behind, they get their supers, and it's just, at that point, it's
Snowballs.
Yeah,
we've
have
talked
to.
about this playing together before. Like I've struggled with that too with you on a team.
Mm-hmm.
Like how you answer that, because you can't figure it out.
It's like you almost have to answer it with the exact same thing, and if you don't play that way, it's just hard to do that. And Exodus Blue, it reminded me so much this weekend, because I remember the first time it came up, I loved it. We did, I think, go 9-0 that weekend. The second time it came up, we basically had kind of the experience that we had Friday night. We would make it to 6, 7, or 8 wins, and then we'd run into that team, a couple of them in a row sometimes. And Exodus and Timekeeper are such great maps for that chaotic gameplay, because you can flank in so many different places so fast on that map. Yeah, there's just so many different angles.
The levels of cover are really interspersed throughout. There's a lot of different vertical and horizontal levels of cover that you can take advantage of. Lots of different sight lines, but the sight lines are not far.
You're
They're
right.
medium range sight lines. So even if you're trying to engage with a primary or engage with a sniper, there's a lot of other opportunities for the opposition to come in, bring the game close, or what have you, so it can
That's like,
mess with you.
Terry even mentioned this week. I mean, Exodus basically is 4 short sniper lanes.
Yeah.
And even if you go through B, it ends up being a small sniper lane once you get past the box inside of B, So I don't know, you just gotta change your strat, when it comes to that point. But man, it's hard when you run into those teams like that. But we're trying to get more.
We just need to be
ourselves.
that team,
right?
We need to stop being so methodical and just trust in the gun skill.
Well, another thing, we realize too is, we jump in every time we're going for 9-0, and it's just a goal that we set. And when we don't get it, we go wipe our car, we start again, and it's like we lost. I think on our 4th passage, we were all getting kind of tired, and we lost our mercy and everything at like 2 or 3 wins.
Oh, yeah.
And actually, no, you know what? I take that back. We lost our mercy on the 2nd game. So we
Ouch.
were like, let's just keep playing. We need to go to bed, let's just see how long we make it. So we just start goofing off using different guns and stuff. I know Terry and Dixie did, and it's like we won like 6 games in a row after that. So it's almost ourselves. Like, we're just putting too much weight on going 9-0. We just need to go. We were like, we just need to go in and have fun, man. Just not
get out of your own way.
Yeah, it's like we still have fun, but yeah, it's just like you said. It's the okay, guys, we're still running for 9-0. We're still running for 9-0.
It's the self pressure, the internal pressure, and then you'll end up getting in your own head when you get frustrated because you're not getting the results you want.
Yep.
It's that mental game. That mental game can affect a lot, and it can even affect your ability to adapt to what's happening around you.
Well, you think about, when we get into those zones, it makes me think about all the different layers of what starts to go south when an aggressive team pushes you like that. You think about everyone's mental state. Then then that instantly makes them off their shot a little bit.
Yep.
And then you have about 5 seconds of time possibly wasted at the beginning of the next round because we don't know for sure how we want to counter it, So it's so many different factors, man. It really is. Anyways, hopefully we can hit the lighthouse tonight, Cyborg.
We're gonna try. We're gonna try. You got any thoughts on this, Manny? You got any wisdom for us?
I really love Exodus Blue, and a lot of people don't. Like, as soon as we found out it was Exodus Blue, my book club Discord, everybody was just vomiting on it. They're like, Exodus Blue's terrible. We hate it. Dude, it's fun because you can use different just gameplay styles, and most of them you could have success, and it's a good map to flank with if you could be coordinated and flank. And I'm not much of a Trials player. I'm mostly a Sixes player, mostly because I just don't have a dedicated Trials team. But dude, it's a good map. It's fun. And
I wanted to ask you too, because you mentioned, are you mentioning more so for 6s or 3s? Because I love it on 3s, but 6s, you probably love it with your universal remote now on 6s.
Well,
for sure.
I like a scout rifle on it. I like the last word on Exodus Blue, and Arminius D is really good on there too.
Oh yeah.
So Exodus Blue can be really fun, but I can see how it's frustrating because, if you're playing smart and you're flanking well and you're playing vertically, then you're going to get a lot more kills. And if you're on the wrong side of that, I can see it being frustrating for sure.
Yeah, if you're on the team that's losing, there's not too many places to hide on that map if the spawns are flipping constantly.
Right.
Yeah.
You're in trouble.
Yeah. I love Exodus Blue for 3s and for 6s, so I'm pumped about playing some Trials tonight.
One thing that I wanted to say about like playing Trials and putting a lot of pressure on yourself, at the end of the day, you got to remember it's a game,
right?
And you want to, games are supposed to be fun, and you want to play happy, So it's like, if you're not going to play happy and have a good time, just kind of rethink things, because you're going to psych yourself out. You're going to put pressure on yourself, and you're going to end up going to bed like frustrated, know, and you don't want to do that to yourself.
It's funny because I think we've talked about that before, and people having bad Trials experiences because the team gets so salty. It's so funny when we get in those zones, our usual fire teams, because none of us like ever get frustrated with each other. We just get a little quieter, and we're just like, man, we just got destroyed.
The room gets real quiet. Yeah.
It's like a rule. We don't get salty with each other.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have a real hard time getting salty. Like I try sometimes just so I could be like my friends. But I play happy. That's just how I play.
This guy.
We mentioned that. We actually mentioned that.
Guy pretends to get salty so he can be like his friends.
That's funny. We mentioned that on their episode this week, man, because I feel like there's so many people that play Trials that haven't actually experienced the fun of Trials because they don't have a fire team to go in with that won't be yelling at them by the time they're done.
Man.
You can't have that fire team. Yeah, you're not going to have a good time. Yeah.
That's a bad time. That's a bad time indeed. Well, we're going to play some more tonight. We're going to see how that goes. And we'll let you guys know next week. But did either of you guys get the PvP weekly bounties done this week?
I did, actually.
What'd you get?
I didn't. It wasn't what I wanted.
Okay.
It wasn't my longbow. So I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't what I wanted.
Well, I got
I think it was armor.
I got a shell, like a ghost shell, the competitive shell. I got it at 334 though, so that was nice.
Oh, nice.
Right?
Nice.
But then I also, and the main thing I'm excited about is I got one of the Crucible, the new Crucible ships, which is the Mine Bleacher. It's blue and green with the the Seahawks colors, and it's that new type that looks like the new Iron Banner ship.
Mm-hmm.
It's that style.
Oh, that's cool.
I was super pumped because I don't think I've seen this thing in the wild one time.
I have never seen that. That looks awesome.
Yeah. It's pretty
really
cool.
Good.
Yeah, so I'm hyped about that, guys. That's my win for the week. I got this ship.
Dude, you mentioned the Ghost, the light level of the Ghost. I forgot. I got a 335 mark from Trials this week, so I was actually kind of pumped to get that mark. That 335
yeah,
mark.
I was checking out your light and when I was watching you stream, and you're
333, man.
Yeah, man, you're up there with the big boys now.
It's like it was one of my biggest requests that I could play PvP and go for the max light level, dude.
I know, I'm
it's
really
so
happy
nice.
you got your wish.
So awesome.
A dream is the wish the heart makes when you're playing Trials. All right.
I am forever 334. I cannot get gloves to drop.
Dude, I can't get a heavy to drop. I need a 335 heavy. It just won't come.
I hope to be there soon with those troubles.
Yeah, it will be soon enough.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, true. Very true. Well, we're going to find out, though, because Tattoo and I were just chatting, and we're both kind of under-leveled for Xbox. I think I'm 3... maybe 15, so hopefully we don't bring you down too much, Cyborg.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
We'll see. How about some news, guys?
The news.
That was a heck of a reset.
Yeah, it was a good one. What do we got? We got a hot fix, which was desperately needed.
Yes.
For life to continue as we know it. Destiny hotfix on May 25th, 2.2.0.3. The one with much less rockets and supers.
Just a couple bullet points.
And I love the first line. This emergency hotfix will restore order to the game. I love that they just banked threw this thing out real quick. Fix an issue where players could get additional heavy ammunition. And here's a surprise. Fix an issue where players can get unlimited super abilities.
Yeah, you guys mentioned that to me when we were playing that night. And I'm like, wait, I thought they just were talking about the last time. There was another super?
There was something, and they bring it up in TWAB that there was something that a player alerted them to that they fixed on the sly, a phantom repair.
Man.
We'll never know what it was.
We'll never know. I had no idea.
Yep.
Nope.
I'm sure somebody knew. I mean, obviously somebody knew. And I put up I don't know if anybody saw this. I think I put it up in the Discord general. But there was a video of some guy who ran across somebody in Cosmodrome Patrol, and the guy was shade stepping and blade dancing at the same time.
Oh.
I don't know if this was related.
What?
But it looked terrifying.
No, thank you.
You had I don't remember the name of the perk, but where you can you take the knife and downward arc it, and it throws out the shockwave.
Yeah.
So he was shade stepping and then doing that. And could you imagine? I don't ever want to see that. I hope that's what got fixed.
I don't want that in my life. That's terrifying.
Not at all. Please, God, no.
That'd be a great screenshot, though. No HUD-less screenshot.
No doubt.
In the middle of that chaos.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You want to walk us through TWAB this week, Era Knight?
Yeah, let's do it. They mention it's kind of a rehash this week of everything, all the random surprises we got this week. They do mention the Crucible Map Quest live stream that we got.
Yes.
I am planning to go watch this one. I really wanted to watch this one, but haven't yet. It got me thinking a little bit. I jump right in when it's new content, of course, man. They've thrown these 3 streams up, and I haven't watched any of them. And I'm a big Destiny player. I don't know why. I wonder how many people are or watching them. You said you watched the Crucible one a little bit, right? But that's
I'm about 42 minutes into 52 minutes of the stream, so I'm most of the way through it. Pretty cool.
Throw it up while I'm playing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I was like, watching some of it yesterday, and then watching some earlier, getting ready for the show, and it's pretty interesting. One thing I picked up that I thought was a nice little tidbit is that they were relating how when they are designing a map, they are typically designing the map in relation to Control, because that is, they said Control is kind of our hallmark, I guess, game type, which is, I always thought it would be Skirmish, but
yeah, remember, because Wisniewski, he said on Crucible Radio that was like the ideal PvP game mode with Skirmish.
But these are the map designers, so they're saying, when we're putting a map together, we're usually thinking initially about how Control plays on it. So I thought it was interesting, and it makes tons of sense because it's true. And a lot of the time they design maps where there are circular travel paths, and so it's not like a linear map. It's not like ABC in a straight row. Like they have them with certain paths in mind that you can take in a circular fashion that will bring you through different points. So I thought it was, there's a lot of really cool little stuff like that in there, as well as some of the history behind some of the maps we've seen and different things like that. So it's definitely worth checking out if you're interested in the Crucible, if you're interested in how things like this game are made. They are definitely giving you a lot of insight into it. It's very cool.
Very cool. Yeah.
You'll like it when you can sit down and look at it. Yeah.
Well, we got, like we said, the next couple of things. We're just talking about the hot fix, that super we don't know about, and Iron Banner coming back, which I was wrong last week, man.
Yeah, it came.
I didn't think it would come mid-reset, and it did.
Well, yeah, we were really debating hard, like, are they going to bring it in late, Are they going to bring it in towards the end of the week? But, all in all, a day late is not too terribly bad. And to be honest, not everybody plays Iron Banner on Tuesday anyways when it drops. So I think I could live with that. What did you think, Manny?
Yeah, I'm glad they released it. I mean, it's great. But yeah, you're right. Not a lot of people are playing on Tuesday because there's not a lot of benefit to it. I mean, it's fun to play for sure, but you're getting the least amount of rep you possibly can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a better time to release it. Then everybody will run their Challenge of Elders and stuff on Tuesday, and then start Iron Banner on Wednesday.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, so it dropped.
Reset.
It came, and it's still here while we're talking. Before I forget, how did you guys do as far as drop rates?
Yeah, man.
Gear? I forgot to bring that up.
We didn't mention that crazy fusion. All this fusion talk. He's got that Ashraven with a pretty decent roll.
He's got a great roll on it.
Yep, I got one to drop. The roll's not horrible, but it's not as good as the vendor one. So that is actually my goal for both consoles, is to get that fusion.
Well, last Iron Banner, I was complaining hard because I didn't get any weapons to drop. It was just boots and boots and boots. This week, this month, I was mainly weapons. I think I got 2 armor pieces to drop, and I got like 3 Iron Wreath, hand. What are they called? Sidearms. There we go.
Yeah.
And I got 3 fusions to drop over the course of the week.
Dang, man.
Now, on all of those, none of them had a good roll compared to like my original Iron Wreath from.
Oh yeah. I've got that.
Early Taken King. I'm just really happy with that. Nothing could beat it, and I couldn't find any fusion that had a better roll than the one he was selling. So I ended up just going and buying that, and I kept getting intellect strength chest pieces. So I ended up going to buy the intellect discipline warlock chest piece this week. So bought all my good stuff.
It's funny because it came a day late. Like, you don't realize until the community starts talking about it. I mean, we've talked about the timing of Iron Banner being on spot once a month, but man, the Destiny community loves their Iron Banner. Like, it is.
They really do look forward to it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a
What about you, Manny?
celebration
Sorry.
for sure.
It is, yeah, yeah.
My very first game, I got a 334 Ash Raven to drop. So I was like,
Nice.
yes, I'm going to have good luck. And that is the only item that has dropped for me.
Really?
But, I mean, yeah, the only item.
Wow.
But, I mean, it's not too bad because, like, I was looking at it when they showed us the rewards, what was going to be available. I wasn't all that excited because I have this amazing Thiessen that is, like, unbeatable. And I got this amazing Queen's Choice, which is a sidearm, which is fantastic. It has a
Oh, I want
rangefinder, rifled
that thing.
barrel, and feeding frenzy. So it's like,
Oh, nice.
I don't know if I could do better on a roll on that thing.
Yeah.
So Iron Banner this week for me is just for the funds, you know, not really for the loot.
Well, I wanted to clarify too because we got a question in the community. Just to confirm for that Guardian, the drops you get for the weapons and even armor, right, is only what he's selling. You can't get like a sniper rifle. this
That
month,
seems
right?
to be the case as far as end of match
Okay.
gear now, which is something I really wish they would bring back, was where you could get
I know.
other
Yeah.
items, you know.
Like,
Now,
why not? Like, let us get the other
I did
guns.
get I did get the sniper from my rank 5. I think it's called Wayloran's March. Is that right?
Yes.
So maybe that's what they do. So maybe the packages can give you stuff from last
you're right, I think, man.
thing
Yeah.
now. So and I got a ghost shell too for my rank 5, which was
What do you
was
think-
320.
What do you think the reasoning
Yeah.
is for us to for them not to want to give us the other Iron Banner weapons, just to make them a little more?
I think what they originally said is that they want your weekly drops to be what the vendor has, and so you don't have to buy from the vendor unless
Oh,
you're
okay.
really
Yeah.
lucky. And
you know-
if they just offered, because they fixed the drop rates, stuff's dropping more frequently, and if they dropped everything across the loot table, it's possible to get all that stuff really early in the season, like we had seasons. I wish we did have some kind of seasons, but so maybe it's a way to kind of extend the life of playing Iron Banner.
Yeah.
True.
Well,
Yeah.
and it's also a good way to get more chances at different rolls on the items that are available, in case the vendor roll is not ideal or you want a different roll. Say maybe you're a hunter and you want a disciplined strength chest or boots or something, and that's not what is for sale. So if you have more opportunities at a limited set of gear, then maybe you'll get the roll that you want on those boots that are not for sale. Or same thing for a gun. So I think it has its utilities, and it's also going to
definitely.
make you think more like, okay, this is what's up this month. Like, I had better go ahead and get that stuff because I may not get it next month,
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true.
It worked. It's okay. It's an okay change. I think it has its draws. So, one thing I wanted to bring up, they mentioned in the TWAB, in the the Destiny Operations Center section, is because a lot of people are reporting issues with their in-game roster tab not populating or disappearing, and they brought up the fact that if you have your console account privacy settings to appear offline, then you're going to see those issues more often. Which I do that sometimes. I'll go appear offline for whatever reason and forget to turn that off, and maybe that's affecting that for me because sometimes I have that issue. So what they recommend is make sure you're appearing online, clear your console's cache, and then fully close and reopen the Destiny application. So something to look at if you're having that issue,
What before we move on, what do you think about these Challenge of Elder scores?
Nonsense. Garbage.
Garbage.
Tell your mother I said hi. I'm Mark Wahlberg. This is garbage.
Oh man, those Wahlberg boys.
Yeah. Speaking of Wahlbergs, Nah, just kidding.
So
Yeah,
is it
about that,
cheese or is it exploits? Like, what are these guys doing?
What's been suggested is that it's cheese. I don't know all the mechanisms they're employing, but I think it's pretty ridiculous to have a one run high score of 204,000. I don't see how that's possible. I can see, on a week like this, like I could reasonably see like sub 100,000 scores as being a legitimate like high score that you could do with the right skill and setups. But 204,000, like, I don't believe it, not for a second.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I haven't played Challenge of Elders enough to be able to put in any.
I mean, okay, for me, for us group of guys, if you got like a 50,000 score on a week that wasn't supers, like you're feeling pretty good about it. Okay. Mm-hmm. Like you felt like, yeah, like I just did a really good job like this. If you're approaching like 100,000, like you're probably a very unique and skilled player, AKA SC Slayerage. Okay.
Right.
But for these kind of scores to be posted up is just utter nonsense. I don't believe it.
They seem pretty high, even for me.
Yeah.
200-some-thousand.
So,
oh, man.
Whatever.
Yeah, somebody had said something about them. Does Bungie just copy and paste?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point now, this list has just lost all credibility, so I don't even care anymore. I really don't.
It was cool that they were putting it at first in the update every week.
Yeah.
But, well, guys, we were excited to have Manny on this episode because it is up for anything 5.0.
5 point slow.
5 of these already. It's been a while since we've had one.
I know. I can't believe we're at 5 already.
Basically, what this is, listeners, is we bring our own topics to the table to chat about, each one of us.
That's right.
So,
and I have to bring up something funny before we start. I had somebody ask recently, they got killed or heard of a weapon, and it was, hey, what's up for anything? Is that what is that gun? And I was like, oh well,
it is.
It's a year 1 auto rifle.
Yep.
So guys, it's a pun, like it's a play on words. Up for anything is a gun in Destiny. If you don't catch that,
you remember many months ago when we were shooting those texts back and forth, man? We're like, dude, we should figure out something that we could pull from Destiny.
Yeah, we're like, oh, up for anything. It's the name
there
of the gun.
Go.
This will be really catchy, and nobody even knows what that is anymore.
Just hear crickets.
Yeah, exactly.
So you want to kick us off, Arrow, with your first?
Yes, I would love to. Yeah, I'm hoping this. I'm kind of excited to talk to you guys about this one. When Iron Banner went live this week, I instantly put all my stuff on. I needed to get the rep boost, the class item, all that good stuff. And I've got a full set of Iron Banner gear. And I love the way it looks. I wear the helm for my Titan all the time. But the chest piece, it all looks pretty cool. And it just got me thinking, like, I even tweeted to some of the Bungie guys, no response, but that's okay. I'm like, man, like, we need gear sets. We need to be promoted to wear the gear sets. Like when Iron Banner's up, I'm sitting here thinking, I thought about it a little bit more the next day. I'm like, okay, well, we don't need to have to wear the whole gear set because then it'll take exotics out of play. So my thought was, and I'm really hoping we come up with some super cool ideas in this that we can tweet them this week. So wear 3 pieces of, let's say it's Iron Banner. Wear 3 pieces of Iron Banner gear and an exotic. And I don't know, you get a little bit more of a rep boost. Maybe you get a little bit increase in RNG. Something. How cool. I mean, it just seems cool that gear, like actually having a motivation to get an entire set of gear from a particular activity versus just because you like the way it looks. I don't know. What do you guys think?
So Manny, you are as you have professed, a World of Warcraft player. And I know that a mechanic such as this exists in that type of game. So I'd love to hear what you think about this.
Well, there's a couple ways you can do gear sets. You can do it the Warcraft way. Basically, you get a certain number of items for that set, and it gives you some type of bonus. Like you get extra haste on a particular skill. So they're basically power-ups. Or you can do it like Diablo. Diablo has a really interesting way of doing their gear sets. For some of them, if you get like all 8 pieces or what have you, it actually changes a certain skill so that your playstyle is completely different. And those are really exciting and fun, but they kind of pigeonhole you into a certain type. So that's why they have seasons and they change sets for each season. So, this is going to be the season of this particular, type of game style. So that's a lot of fun and it keeps things fresh, but bringing those type of gear sets to Destiny, I don't think it'll work. I think the best way is like what you're saying. You get some kind of rep boost or something like that. If they make it a gameplay element that gives you an advantage, then it has to be a set that is available to anyone and achievable with a certain amount of effort. And, PvP and PvE will just have to be balanced around that. And you kind of see hints of that with the raid gear, because like on the boots, when you're torn between dimensions, you get a speed boost, or when you're inside an aura, you get faster reload. And those things are pretty awesome, but they're not sets. If they would have made those kind of like a set pieces, if you have 2 pieces, you get this. If you have 3 pieces, you get that. Then that may have made it a bit more interesting.
Yeah, like it's you talking about it's making me think. Diablo, of course, doesn't have the PvP element, right? So unless they've added it and I totally missed it,
not the way it needs to be. Nope.
Right. So they would have to think about that gear. Somebody putting on that gear going into trials, Iron Banner gear going into trials. So yeah, I think you're spot on with it having to be some sort of, like we mentioned, some sort of rep boost or something like that. It just, obviously the Destiny community has talked about this on Reddit and other places before. I don't know why this week when I jumped in, I was just thinking, man, like I just want to sport everything Iron Banner, man, and have like a little perk for it and just be total just Iron Banner nut. I just have my all my gear on with the shader and just looking legit going into Iron Banner, give me a little bit more rep.
I think there's a few different ways they can do this in game. You have your superficial abilities that you could put in, passive abilities, active abilities. Some really easy ways that I think would be rewarding for people would be maybe certain effects you could have with the full gear set, like maybe a cosmetic effect similar to the old Nightfall halo around your head, or a spawn-in animation would be cool for maybe like raid level or in-game level sets. And then there's ones like you're mentioning, like I think it would be much cooler to have a Vanguard boost if I wore a full set of Vanguard armor as opposed to just a class item, and make it a more significant boost, because then you're like sporting the full attire, right? Mm-hmm. Same thing for Iron Banner. Like, why can't we just wear the full armor and drop the shader and the emblem that I've been wearing for a year and a half for every Iron Banner? Like, let me just wear all the gear, and then let me customize my guy with the different color and an emblem, and get the passive effect that way. But I think what would be more interesting are some active abilities that you could get, whether it be like, if you're wearing a certain Crucible set, like a particular set, maybe it's geared more towards agility, and these are kind of going along what Manny was talking about World of Warcraft, like certain gear sets giving you a certain play style. Maybe, the Titan gear, one variation that you would get from Shaxx gives you, agility based perks, and one gives you defensive based perks or something
An
like
extra
that.
shoulder charge.
Yeah, or more
Oh,
offensive,
man.
or more
I'm just
offensive
kidding.
stuff. I don't know. It doesn't have to be exotic tier stuff, but maybe it gives you a little, boost of agility for one thing, and then maybe for another thing you get more armor or something like that. So it encourages you to play different play styles. I think that would be kind of interesting. Do you think? I mean, Manny, it kind of sounds for you like you might not enjoy that, but
Well, the thing is with Destiny, it's in my mind, it's not that much of an RPG to where that type of customization is going to add to the game.
min-max.
I think there needs to be more depth as far as character customization
yeah,
to add gear sets that would have that large of an impact and still be viable and not game breaking.
that's probably true.
Well, I mean, other developers, just think about it so quick to make it a point. Obviously the Division hasn't been on the best stable ground the last little bit, but I mean, as soon as they came out with the Incursions, I mean, they instantly started showing us gear sets. And if I remember right, Manny, didn't what theirs did for you, like you'd already mentioned, was an extra little perk benefit, right? I think is what they said on theirs.
Yeah, they
something
had
similar.
different sets in like, for instance, there was a set specifically for like the Dark Zone.
That's right.
But the problem, I mean, they had issues too, and I don't know if we even want to talk about this, but the problem is that you work so hard in the Division and you get all the stats that you want and the benefits for the perks and the abilities you want, and then you get these set pieces, but none of those set pieces have the right stats.
That you need.
So
Yeah.
exactly. So it's, I don't know, it's a little harder to
I guess
to
it's
compare.
And
you gotta
could
give
have that
Bungie
same
credit,
problem in Destiny if that was the case,
Yeah.
because
Well, go ahead, Cyborg. Sorry.
well, I was just gonna suggest. I mean, I can't really tell you any time except for when I'm in the raid that I'm trying to wear a full set of armor.
True. Yeah.
And in the raid, I'm even willing to put up with a not suitable stat distribution because I want the particular perks that I have on the raid armor. So I think that there's definitely a downside to that.
I guess like I was mentioning, we got to give Bungie credit. I mean, they've obviously had to fix things and patch things here and there, but people have described Destiny as a MMO light kind of game. But really, by not having, we have our 3 different stats that we're going for, but there's so much depth and in just those 3 really, and the armor, to tie into it, that also allows them to kind of keep control of it. Kind of like you mentioned, Manny, they threw out all those gear sets in the Division, but they didn't think about how people will acquire them and how they're going to get the perks they're looking for. Whereas with Destiny, we're intellect, discipline, strength, and we've got a couple tiers of nodes that are going to be on it, and it really, it's not too hard to get something pretty close to what you want. I guess we take that for granted a little bit, maybe.
Probably.
Call it MMO light, or call it not.
It works.
Being friendly to the community, I guess.
Yeah, it works.
Very cool.
I mean, when I think of Destiny, I think of awesome gunplay, So that's what I want out of Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they give me.
Well, good.
Yeah, I don't know if I
Good for
mentioned this
you.
on the show, but I had a buddy that just picked up the game, and it's so refreshing to hear him talk about it. And he used the Spark of Light, and he has no idea what to do. Like he said, I'm just going through all the missions, and I'm like, you need to do that. Just go do all the missions in order. They'll teach you things. And then I'm telling him about this guy that comes on the weekend, and this and this and this, and it's so exciting to talk to somebody new about it. But I'm like, you need to go out to YouTube and watch any video you can find that says everything you need to know about Destiny.
Yeah.
So it's just like, but the whole reason I bring this up is because the one thing he did tell me is the gunplay is on point, and that's what he loves the most about it right now.
That's great.
I mean, that's what Manny just said. That is the point. So.
You can't beat it, man. It doesn't matter what gun you're using. You can get some kind of satisfaction from using it. You know?
Right. Yep.
Which is a great transition into a topic that I wanted to bring. I know you got another, but I can't miss this perfect transition into talking about the gunsmith. And I have to immediately take back the comment I just made, because earlier today I was running through the gunsmith test weapons, you know, because now, you know, if you guys don't know this, every time you rank up your gunsmith, you have a chance to get a legendary gun from him that is up to 335.
That's right.
And there are a lot of versions of guns that you don't commonly see as well. It could be any gun that he has, you know, ever sold, as far as the different offerings that he offers. So with, you know, a random set of rolls, I got a crazy hand cannon I'd never even seen before. I think it was like a Harris A or some crazy. And I was like, oh, this is cool. So, anyways, I'm running with Crucible test weapons this week. It's this terrible, atrocious Suros auto rifle that has zero stability, no range, and the TTK is like 3.5 seconds. And I am just suffering trying to get this gun completed because it's Crucible kills. And I think I played like 3 games and I was only like 50% because I could just not get kills with this thing. I was just getting lucky and getting cleanup kills. And I've seen this multiple times. Very recently, people saying on Reddit, Twitter, I've heard people talking about podcasts, get rid of these god-awful Crucible test guns. You feel lucky and blessed if you get a gun that is actually usable in the Crucible as a test weapon, because if it's not, you're going to slum through it. And why should I have to have a poor experience for an extended amount of time just to get a little bit of rep for the gunsmith? It almost defeats the whole underlying mechanic of Destiny, which is no matter what you're doing, you're progressing and you're having fun progressing, right? And isn't that what they ultimately want to be happening in a cycle in this game? So you're always doing something, that something is fun, and you're always getting rewarded for that fun thing. This kind of puts a shot in the gut to that concept. And I really do think they need to take another look at Crucible test weapons, whether it be they limit the type of guns that are available or just eliminate them entirely, because it can just deflate your entire Crucible experience trying to do that. And I really want to know why the gunsmith is kind of left behind. He's had the same guns available in his pool, you know, week after week. It's running on, you know, what is this, 9 months, 10 months ish at this point we're coming in after the Taken King.
Yeah,
he hasn't gotten any new guns to sell. I feel like that really got neglected with the April update. What do you guys think? What do you think about the gunsmith right now?
Well, Manny actually left us a speak pipe a few weeks ago. Manny, what do you kind of about this? What do you think, man?
I mean, my idea, and it was playing off of another person's idea, but it was basically get rid of these garbage weapons that nobody enjoys using and making an opportunity to try out guns that people want. So maybe you can try out, you know, either exotic weapons, or you can try out legendary weapons that people really like. And they don't always have to be like god roll test weapons, but let them be good, you know, so you can have fun, because they want you to pay some sort of price to be able to get that package. And it has to be some type of work, time you put in. But I think they really miss the mark. It's not fun to get to work towards those packages, you know, and it's like, you know, yeah, you can use different strats. Like with that auto rifle is terrible. So it's like, okay, you got to get a sniper bullet body shot and finish it with that auto rifle. And hopefully you can do it fast enough before you get killed. And it's like, it's just not good.
Yeah.
You know, so it definitely needs to be revisited. They're not going to change it. They're not going to change it anytime soon. But next time around, Destiny 2 or what have you, they need to make that fun, you know.
Definitely. I had a fun idea because a lot of people bring up the point that he's called Gunsmith, and why doesn't he smith guns? Right? And I'm not trying to say, hey, let's bring crafting into Destiny, because I just don't think that necessarily belongs in the type of game that we're playing here. It's not an RPG enough game to have crafting. I think that's my opinion.
Yep.
But what could be cool is, so right now, if you want to get a chance at a roll at one of the available guns he's selling, you go, you place your order, beginning on Arms Day, right? And then you got to wait till the next one. You got to get it in. You pick through your rolls. Wouldn't it be kind of fun if you're out playing, say you're playing some PvE, you're patrolling Mars, and you kill a Vex Minotaur Major, and you see a purple drop, and you go pick up the purple drop instead of a legendary Ingram, which is terrible and we all hate. You see, Arminius D frame. Oh, cool. I got a frame from Arminius D. Let me go bring this to the gunsmith. So you drop it off with him, and he's like, okay, cool. Give me 1,000 glimmer. I'm going to put something together for you. And then you come back the next day, and he's got a selection of rolls. Wouldn't that be kind of fun? Like, where you could have opportunities to just pick up the frame, and it could
that'd be super fun.
Any of the guns that he sells, right? So you're not limited to just week by week what he has, available to sell. Like, as opposed to getting a legendary gun, he could drop, say that he sells a total of 20 weapons. Well, you could get the frame of that weapon to drop out in the wild at any time. And then you could go bring it to him and get a gun that maybe nobody else has the opportunity to get right now. I think that'd be kind of fun and make it like more relatable in universe to what he's supposed to be, No,
that's a really good idea, man. I mean, I don't visit the gunsmith ever.
I don't really. I rarely do. Yeah. I've started just buying weapon parts so I don't max on glimmer.
It always seems like, so hard for them to, I mean, initially when he came about, or, at different times when content dropped, it's like they serve a role and they serve a purpose, and then it just kind of fizzles out. Yeah. I mean, I have a really good idea. I think he should, you should be able to pay him some sort of material, or currency to re-roll your weapon for you. No, I'm totally kidding. Sorry. That was
weapon parts, baby.
That was a bad minute. We don't want that anymore.
I thought I was getting ready for my mind to be blown.
No.
Genius. So
we don't want that. I'm totally joking.
If you're listening, you need to put me and Manny in charge of the gunsmith, because we have some great stuff for this guy.
I do not want that back. There was
too
many amazing guns.
Destroy the economy of the game again, and it'll be House of Wolves once again.
Oh man, bad.
So yeah, just it'd be great if they do something with him. I think that position has a lot of potential just because of guns. Because guns, guys. Because guns.
Excellent topic.
All right. What else we got?
What do you have, Manny? What do you have for us?
Well, so a couple weeks ago, or maybe less than that, it was on the 20th, Kotaku had this nice article, leaked poster reveals Destiny's next expansion, Rise of Iron. And we all saw that. That was leaked on Reddit, right? The actual picture.
Yes.
And then it was a poster. So Kotaku wrote up an article about it, and I didn't notice until this week when I started seeing articles on other sites about this Kotaku article. Yeah. And at the very end, it says in January, as we reported earlier this year, Bungie moved its internal target date for Destiny 2 from 2016 to 2017. Replacing Destiny 2 in this fall slot will be Rise of Iron, although we're not clear what else Bungie will be releasing between then and fall of next year. From what we hear, Destiny 2 was recently rebooted, with Taken King director Luke Smith taking the reins on the project in the wake of a Bungie staff reorganization. So this is interesting. In the comments, some guy is saying, the guy that wrote this is Jason, I forgot his last name, but
Schreier.
There we go. Schreier. Yeah. Some guy's asking, is this real? Is this solid information? And he says, Jason replies, he says, there's no need to trust my gut here. This is real. So he's pretty confident about what he knows. But I thought it was interesting. So he has this inside information about Destiny 2 getting a reboot, and that could be pretty significant.
Well, it's such an interesting word, right? Like reboot to me, I just instantly think about like rebooting an old game of some sort, and
Yes.
them saying, Luke Smith, I mean, he was the director on The Taken King, right? So he pretty much, I mean, he's been around for a long time, but he pretty much more than proved kind of what they should be releasing with The Taken King. So I don't know, Manny, what do you think of the word reboot? Like,
Well,
what do you...
the gaming community has recently seen an example of a rebooted game. Blizzard has been working on, or they were working on a game called Titan for a long time. And it was going to be an MMO, and they had poured so many hours and money into it. But at the end of the day, the developer said, this is just not fun. Like, the fun isn't here. So they scrapped it, and they did a reboot on the project, and that's how we got Overwatch. Overwatch was basically a reboot of Titan. So in the context of Destiny being an already released game that we're playing, I don't think a reboot is anything near as drastic as that, but it could be scrapping a lot of questline, a lot of material, maybe even raids. We don't really know, but it could be just changing a lot of stuff, because moving from 2016 to 2017, that's kind of a big deal, right? Because the end of 2016 is, not too many months away. 7 months away is the end. Saying 2017 is the new release date for Destiny 2, and we've known this for a while, that could add potentially an extra 12 months to the project, which a reboot would definitely necessitate several more months of development.
Yeah. Well, we've already seen what we know that was a reboot of the original vanilla Destiny, right?
Yes.
We've gotten the story. We know the details, generally what happened with the game, that, months before it was supposed to release, they essentially rebooted much of the story, the gameplay, content that was there, and rehashed it. And it's hard to say, when someone says reboot, what that could really mean internally and for the content that they had put together. It's not surprising that there's going to be reorganization after a change in the CEO, right?
Yeah.
His responsibility as the new leader of that organization is to make sure that the right people are working on the right projects, that the overall vision for where that company is going and what they're producing is going to be solid and is going to be what they want. So, people get moved around and changes happen. I'm just taking the word that Jason is using here, reboot, with a grain of salt. I would be surprised if they were just scrapping everything that they had been working on. But more of, hey, okay, we got Luke. He's taken point on this project now. And Luke goes in and he sees some things that he wants to change the direction on. You could call that a reboot, but that word has so much swing one way or another. I don't want anybody to put too much stock into it,
Yeah. Well, like we've talked about with Destiny, it's such a weird beast of a game because it seems like ever since the game launched, like you said, with that initial reboot, if you will, they've just been trying to figure out what is the right combination of, like the April update. Everyone has said, the quality of life changes with the April update were huge. I've mentioned on the show about this year of Destiny being the growing pains of the content, how they're going to feed that to us, and they're trying to figure it out. So, I would think with Destiny 2, and even with pushing it back, and Manny, you mentioning this and the reboot and everything, by the time Destiny 2 comes out, I would think they would want a little bit more of a solid foundation, right? They want to have a good plan of as best they can of content, of just the overall how the game's functioning. I'm really happy with the April update, and a lot of people have said some things that have been implemented with it, they don't want it to change, how fast we get packages now, and just different things like that. So I don't know. I think you could look into it a little bit that way as well. By the time Destiny 2 comes out, hopefully we will have an extremely polished, well-rounded, version of Destiny for us.
The thing that worries me the most in just this one paragraph is this is the first time I've heard anyone infer that Destiny 2 won't come out till fall of 2017.
Oh, I know, right? Yes, because we were just thinking maybe spring. Yeah.
So I was like, man, when he said that, and this is a guy with sources, I'm like, oh God. Fall of next year? Like, oh man, that's a wait. I don't know. It's, and like he's saying in the article, like it's not clear what else could release between this fall and that fall, but God, I hope they have a plan, really do.
Hopefully we're not looking at a couple more painful droughts before the second iteration of this game. Yeah. Just even thinking about Rise of Iron waiting until September is just
a long year, man.
Oh,
it's a long year.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get more of what we want.
The good thing in all this is that if this is true and Luke Smith is in charge of the release of Destiny 2, that's fantastic.
It makes me feel
because,
good. Yeah.
The last couple of years, Luke Smith has been knocking it out of the park. The Vault of Glass, completely amazing. That thing should earn rewards. It's so good and so well designed. The Dreadnought has been a lot of fun. And, I think he's more than capable.
Well, and overall, and people forget, and not everybody understands that his position was the director of the entire Taken King project. So he's ultimately accountable for everything that went into that. That doesn't mean he did all the things.
Yeah.
But what they have said is that in this could have changed because there's a new CEO, but something that they were doing post the Taken King was starting to divide the human resource assets in Bungie into teams that would remain with each other throughout each project, as opposed to okay, you are a graphic artist, you're going to work for a month on this, and then when you finish that, you're going to go work on this project. So what they were hoping to do was to be able to grab some synergy and grab the efficiency and the camaraderie that comes with working on a team constantly, where they go from project to project together, and they learn to work together better, and they learn how to communicate and achieve together. And so if that stuck around, what this could mean is that a lot of Luke's team that worked on the Taken King may be with him working on D2 now, which tells us, hey, the content that was brought forth in the Taken King, from the raid to the missions to the strikes, was all really well done, we felt. And that could mean even better content for D2 if it's the same team within Bungie that's working on that.
Definitely. Yeah. That completely makes sense, man.
Yeah. So, but who knows? That all could have changed.
With what we've gotten in the past. Like you both have said, we can, if it's going to be a while, at least we can have comfort knowing that it'll be probably be awesome.
Well, we can hope for the best. So, guys, I think we have fun with this main topic this week. Anything else y'all want to hash out before we change gears?
No, of course, just throw it out to the Derp fam. Tweet at us with any ideas you guys have on any of these topics.
Yeah.
We would love to hear it. We would love to retweet it and quote it to the Bungie team. If it's just amazing idea that we would love to see implemented.
See what you think. So how about some of those Derp fam feels?
Oh, the feels.
Let's do it.
Man, it's who better to have on again than Manny, the guy that started one of these chains.
No kidding.
We apparently just need to have you on every week, Manny.
Yep.
What do we got this week, man?
We got a speak pipe from Got Turkey. She was called out last week, and she has come to represent and answer that challenge. So let's take a listen.
Hey guys, Got Turkey here. Thanks for calling me out, Save Guy, and thank you, Arrow, Cyborg, and everyone in the Derp fam for being so awesome and keeping the community a fun and positive place to be. I've been playing Destiny since release and started off on the 360, raidless, and failing horribly at PvP. I upgraded to my PS4 a few weeks before The Taken King came out and ended up joining the Derp fam a few months later. Everyone was so welcoming, and I'm pretty sure they're still the only reason I continue to log into Destiny almost every day. The Derp fam sherped me through all the raids and helped me be more comfortable in trials and PvP in general. It's great to be able to talk with people who love the game as much as I do, and will sometimes even venture out to play games that aren't Destiny. I've met some really great people that I'm sure don't realize how important they are to me. I actually made a list of all the folks I wanted to name, and then I realized the list was so long, I'd end up spending the whole SpeakPipe reading it. So thank you, everyone. You guys really are the best. I'd like to give a special shout out to my original Fireteam member and real-life friend, WVU Avenger 26. Thanks for being a wee kindergarten with me back in year 1 while we struggled to 2-man nightfalls every week and would grind out the daily missions every single day. But most importantly, thank you for introducing me to the Derp fam. So, I'm calling you out, Avenger. Everyone else, continue doing what you're doing. If you haven't officially joined the Derp fam yet, I highly recommend doing so. I promise you won't regret it. See you later, Guardians. Gobble gobble.
Well, thank you, Got Turkey. I like the gobble gobble. It's great, but
It's awesome.
It's so awesome to hear, man. I hope this just doesn't get old every week, but she jumps on with all the feels with the Derp fam, and almost not playing the game to the only reason possibly that she logs in still and plays. So
That's awesome.
It's so cool to hear that.
Yeah, it is.
She of course calls out her in real life friend WVU Avenger.
Yep.
Which is great. We'll hope to hear from you soon, sir. What else we got, Cyborg?
We got a speak pipe. Again, an answer to the Xbox speak pipe challenge. Got our buddy Scorio, or as I've been calling him this week, South Korea. Escoria. So let's take a listen. Let's take a listen to what he said.
Hey Derp fam, it's Scorio70 live from the Crack House. Thank you Highway for that smooch pipe. I'm glad to carry it on. I want to thank Arrow for cultivating this amazing community. Oh, and Cyborg. Man, I completely forgot about you with how many times you say my name wrong. I forget if we even know each other. But yeah, thank both of you guys for making this such an amazing community. I got on really early, and I remember Andy and Duke and I still having to turn to LFG sometimes to fill out our teams for raids, and now it seems that anytime we try to put an event together, we have too many people, not enough people, which is amazing. I'm fortunate to play with everybody on PS4 side and Xbox side, so there's no way I can list everyone that I've played with. So just thank you for all the good times to all the Derp fam that I've played with. I do want to give a special shout out to the Minnesota boys, Fugly, Nick Wahlberg, and Brian Peterson. They were kind enough to welcome me into their houses a few weeks back, so thank you for that, and it's nice to make real friends on games such as Destiny. But we're about to take this smooch pipe all the way to Rhode Island, carry it all the way from West Coast to East Coast. So, Dan, a.k.a. Necessary Evil, I'd love to hear from you, brother.
All right, Escorio. He gave a challenge to our buddy Necessary Evil over on the East Coast this week. I thought it was pretty cool that he has been able to meet up with a lot of some Derp fam members and get together and start some real in-person friendships. It's really, really cool testament to the great group of people that we have in the Derp fam. But
it is awesome. A lot of us are really becoming good friends, and it's just awesome.
Absolutely.
It's so cool to have the speak pipes on here, because I'm sure we get old every week talking about it, but the speak pipes just do it themselves in the emails. And, we just hope every week we give one of you Guardians like a little bit more of a nudge to jump in the fam, because then you get all the welcomes, and then we usually hopefully get an email from you and you're like, you guys were right on the podcast. I mean, the community is... It is something completely special. It's unbelievable. So it's a shout to the whole Derp fam for keeping it that way. It's so great. I wanted to mention too, Cyborg. Mm-hmm. He did give you some trouble in the speak pipe.
I know, man.
About giving him trouble.
What? I just told Scorio in Discord, just 1v1 me, bro, at Volcano. So we have an appointment. It is. It was the soonest I could fit in my calendar to get this done, but it is I think it's May 30th 2021 I think was when I could fit them in. No, May 29th 2021 7 p.m. Me and Scorio will 1v1 and decide this feud once for all.
It's at one point, I think this week, they were talking in the Discord about how they could give you trouble with your name and that it's just not too easy. But I told him they should call you Sassy Squatch.
In party chat.
Sassy Squatch.
Yeah, he couldn't come up with anything. But luckily enough,
sorry, I didn't mean to.
He had my co-host to give him ammo. Luckily enough.
It just instantly came to me, man, and I'm like, that's perfect. He's a warlock. Sometimes he likes to just poke you a little bit. That works great.
Yeah. That's me, guys. All right, moving on.
Sorry,
we got an email from the aforementioned Stardust Hell, the winner of the big Rumble tourney this weekend, and they write, "Hello, this is Stardust Hell. I want to give a shout out to everyone that participated in the Xbox One Rumble tournament. Jon Snow 81, Chronic, Flavorous, Ugg Plateau, R.H. Lurson, LG Blitz, Big Red Tricks, JC Franzi Skates, Fugly, Typical Jerd, and Scorio 70. You guys are all amazing. It was a blast playing. Big Red Trucks, ha ha ha. Big Red Tricks. Thank you so much for organizing this tournament. Also, special thanks to all that donated to the prizes. Rockus, Necessary Evil 85, Deadly Teddy, R2K Exodus. The Derp fam is amazing, and words can't express how much I really appreciate this clan. Thank you all for the awesome times. And you, Aeronite and Cyborg Sasquatch, for an awesome podcast and fam. Well, thank you, Stardust. You are an amazing individual for winning that Rumble tourney, and thanks for these shout-outs.
Thank you so much, dude. Even just watching it for just probably the 20 minutes I did, you guys have got to do these without even telling us about it, because it was so fun, dude. We've got to have tournaments for the fam. It was so cool watching.
Yeah. And I know that it's time to wrap up the show, because Them's Tattoos just joined me in orbit. He is ready to play some trials, guys. So we got to go.
Nice. We
got to bounce. We got some.
That's
some
great
domes
timing.
To pop.
Great timing.
No doubt. Manny, thank you so much for joining us this week.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Pleasure to have you on, my friend.
Welcome.
Super
anytime.
happy to be here. Thanks, guys.
Well, where can they find you, Manny?
You can find me at AKA Manny G everywhere.
You can even email Manny
if you want to. You
According to Manny,
actually
you can even find him in space, because everywhere.
That's right.
Just say his name. Just say his name 3 times in the mirror, and Manny will appear.
And deliver your mail.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm going to need a signature.
And give you relationship advice.
That's great.
You can find us at Twitter at Destiny Reset. You can also find us on the World Wide Web at DestinyResetPodcast.com for all things Destiny Reset, including the link to our Bungie.net group if you want to join, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. You can also find how to subscribe to us on the iTunes, the Google Play, the Stitcher, all that nonsense. So go check it out.
Do it.
Arrow Knight, where can they find you, my friend?
You can find me at the Arrow Knight on Twitter and Arrow Knights on YouTube and Twitch. What about you, dude?
You can find me at Cyborg Sasquatch on the Twitters.
And almost everywhere.
That's it. Just there. Sorry, guys.
We also had to give a shout out, of course. A couple new iTunes reviews this week. Thank you, Smaller Dude.
He's a smaller
and
dude.
Archon Myth. Thank you so much for the iTunes reviews. We appreciate it.
Thanks, fellas.
We love you guys. Get on our Discord. Come hang out.
Yeah. For all you that ask, if you want to join the Discord, just go join the Bungie.net group, and there's a link right at the top of the forum, big, loud, and clear, how to get into the Discord.
Yeah, the forum post is now newly updated and called Derp and Derp Fam Link Hub.
There you go.
So there's also...
Check it out.
Yes.
All right.
Well, thanks, guys. Great show.
Yeah, man.
Great show.
Another wonderful week in Derp.
Let's go play some trials.
Let's do it.
All right, guys. Till next week, have fun playing Destiny, and take care, Guardians.
And hello, and welcome to the Late Night with Manny G. You're on the air, caller.
It's me, Oryx, and well, I'm really lonely. My son, he had a tragic accident last year, and all these guardians are trying to kill me now. What should I do, Manny?
Well, just keep calm and universal remote on.
Okay,
Stay
thanks.
positive and play happy, Oryx.
Okay, can I get a song request? I'd like to hear My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion.
You got it.
The first time I literally am almost going to have to turn my mic off. You have requested that so many times in our Twitch.